Alright, so today on Keller Custom Garage, we're going to do something not really fun. We're just going to take care of some maintenance stuff. This is my 02 Tacoma, 4-wheel drive. It's just an extended cab. I bought this truck when it was brand new. It looks like a golf ball with hail damage and just over the years of just abuse. This truck gets the least amount of maintenance out of any vehicle we own and is put to do more work than pretty much any vehicle we own. This truck has had the hardest life out of any vehicle probably that we have, and it's got about 200,000 miles on it, just under 197,000 I guess. Today we are going to take care of ball joints. I haven't done them since this truck was new. These are the original ones. They've started getting just a little bit of play, so we're going to take care of those today. Alright, so on this side, we're going to start taking off the upper ball joint. We're going to start with that first. Cotter pin just up here, just bent. Got it simple enough. Do your best to straighten the tabs in the cotter pin. Once you get those straight, then that hopefully you can get it to move out a little bit. You can take vice grips are my go-to. You can take regular pliers, you can do other things, you can stick a pick in there, maybe even a screwdriver, stuff like that. But take your pliers, do a little wiggle and pull, and you got your cotter pin. Alright, so next we will be taking off the nut right here, and then you'll want to hit here with the hammer. And that couple good whacks should free this after you take the nut off. It is a 19mm socket. Alright, so just a couple good whacks. And it doesn't move. A couple more good whacks. And there it comes off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a ball joint press here. We're going to push the metal part out, and then we'll be able to press the whole ball joint. Alright, so we've got the middle pushed out. That way we can get to this a little easier. We can push this out. It has a clip right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it has a clip that goes right here. I don't have the tool to spread these like you're supposed to pull it off. So what I do is just put a vice grip, set of vice grips on the corner. Let me put those down. And then what you can do is when you got that side all done, you can take a screwdriver and a hammer and start tapping on it. Or it's working out well that I'm bending it. Get it to where it got a little bit of a groove, pull it up, and then you can walk it all the way around. When you get it up high enough, take off your vice grips, and then finish walking it out. Now, we're going to put the ball joint compressor remover on this part, and we're going to knock this out, and then we'll go from there. All right, so now we've got the ball joint removed. It was simple enough. We'll put this one in, we'll get it all squared up, we'll put the tool on it, and we will push it back in place. We'll press it back in here. One thing I would like to just bring up to you is use OEM on these ball joints. Aftermarket for these things are notorious for failing. And that, spend the extra money and buy OEM. They aren't cheap, but it'll save you in the long run. Just buy Toyota OEM on these. All right, so we put the press on it. I will say also, make sure you line this up perfectly. In that, try not to go on crooked. We got a little crooked on it. We bent it just a little bit down here. Try on the lip, so it's okay. Make sure you're going in straight. We were just committed and I didn't want to pull it back out. Other than that, my new ball joint is in. Next is to put it back on the upper control arm, tighten it down, put a cotter pin in, and then we go to the bottom. All right, so you gotta put the snap ring on here. Again, don't have the right tool. So what I'm gonna do is try and get my screwdriver. This one's a smaller one and messed up. And what I'm gonna try to do is get it pushed behind it. And once you get one side going, it becomes easier for everything. So what I'm gonna do is the same thing as I did before. Is I'm gonna take my vice grips and hold one side. I don't go, try not to go too tight, just want it to hold. Whoops. I just want it to hold it in place, sort of. And then what I do, in this case it worked a little differently than I was going for, but that'll work. So I get it out and I get it started, and then I just walk the screwdrivers around. I keep one closest to the side that I already have on, and I walk the other one to keep twisting it around. And once you get about, halfway or so, it'll start kind of walking itself into place as it needs to. And there it is. So now that's secure.
All right, so we're gonna do the boot for the upper ball joint. You have to put some grease in it. It has blue grease that it comes with, and it has transparent grease that it comes with. The blue grease goes on the inside. You're gonna just fill, I don't know if you can see it, but it has little pockets inside. You wanna fill that evenly with the blue grease. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. It's nice to wear gloves with this so that you can just remove your gloves, throw them away, and you don't have to deal with grease all over everything if you get too much grease everywhere. Don't want to chintz with this, you want to use all of it. So now I'm just going to pack the inside of this boot all the way around. Try to make it as even as I can. These ball joints are not serviceable. So we want to make sure that they are adequately greased. I'm going to try to refrain from getting grease on the outer edges, outer lips. The transparent grease goes on one side of it. But as you know, working with grease, it goes everywhere. Alright, so there's grease all in there. I'm going to take a rag, wipe off what you got on your hand. And then you're going to wipe the lips on either side as well, just to make sure that everything's not contaminated with grease once you put it over there. So now you're going to take the transparent bag of grease. And it has two lips, so it has the big lip and the small lip. It goes on the small lip. I'm try to get it just on the lip itself. And they want this at a 0.05 millimeter to a 1 millimeter thickness on the outside of this lip. I want to get technical. So you just want to make sure it's a nice even ring all the way around, and it's ready to install.
Take the dust shield that Ashley has greased for us, and we'll put it on here. We'll try to get it around the lip like that. All right. And then the last thing you have to do before fully reassembling this thing is it comes with this wire. So you take the wire off, kind of open it up, and you run it around the boot. The bottom part
Has a little groove for it to sit in.
it has a little groove for it to sit in.
Make sure you have that wire in that groove before you tighten it down. It's a little unruly wire, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not the most fun. I can assure you that. Now, we have never done this before. This is our first time doing ball joints, so give us a little slack on that we have no idea what we're doing. So, I've got the wire roughly around. I'll have to make some adjustments to it here. All right, so we've got the wire on, and they want you to twist the wire tight. So grab some needle nose, get the two pieces of wire together, hold on, and just spin your needle nose as tight as you can get it. Make sure you have both wires, so that way it can't really move, fall off, anything like that. Take the access and that, snip it off, and you're set. Now the last thing we're going to do I should have had this ready, is we're going to come over here, push that down into place, and put the nut on.
And the cotter pin.
And then so we'll tighten this down and we'll put a cotter pin in it, and the top will be done, and we'll start working on the bottom.
Alright, so we're doing the bottom ball joint here. So this is the tie rod arm that needs to come free. It has a castle nut and a cotter pin on top. We already removed that. We already bashed the crap out of this to make sure that the tie rod comes free. We're working on the lower part of it now. So I took the castle nut off the bottom. It has a cotter pin as well there. And we're gonna hit right about here to get this ball joint to drop down. There's also 4 bolts right underneath here that needs to come free to be able to have this ball joint drop off. Alright, so this is the lower ball joint that we took out. Obviously you can see that it has a little bit of play in it on 197,000 miles. That's not actually that bad. This is the new one, and I can barely get that to move. Obviously everything is, we want to make sure that all the holes are correct, the stamping is correct. This one has a dust shield on it that we need to reuse. Just like that. Make sure it fits down all the way. Take our new one and we're ready to put it back in. Alright, so we just finished our lower ball joint install here. I put a new castle nut with a brand new cotter pin in there. I do want to mention that it is very important to hand tight these bolts in here before you just impact them on, just so make sure that the threads are not going in crooked. You don't want to mess those up. It'll cost you more time and money that you don't want to spend. Now we're putting the tie rod end back in here. The castle nut that came off of it, you have to reuse it as well. So you want to put that castle nut on. You do need a new cotter pin to be able to put in, and new cotter pins are great nonetheless.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. Until I broke the rules, my life destroyed. A life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? What can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.